and welcome. Today I'm hoping to get a few of the outside jobs done around the garden. So let's crack on and I'll show you what I've got to do. The paths between my beds are really weedy at the moment. So I'm going to give them a weed, and I'm hoping then to put down a bit of wood chip. Now I'll show you the pile I've got down here, as I have bought a wood chipper, and I've got this pile here on top of asparagus fronds. I'm not necessarily wanting to use them for the wood chip, but underneath are some hazel cuttings from my husband pollarded that hazel tree there. So hopefully, I don't know how much I will get, but maybe I'll get enough to fill one of the beds. So that's the job I'm going to crack on with first of all. Here is my wood chipper. I've moved all the wood up to here because it's quite heavy. I didn't want to lug it all the way down to the bottom of the garden. And I have tried it, it does work, but when I first tried it, it didn't work because I put the bucket in, the collection bucket in the wrong way, and this locks in place. And if that doesn't lock in place, it won't come on and work. So I sorted that out and it's working now. So I'm going to get on, chip some of these bits of wood, and then see how far along the paths we can get. Well, the good news is the chipper works really well. The bad news is that I only managed to get about 2/3 of one path done. So I'm obviously going to need a lot more branches throughout the winter to get my paths mulched with wood chip. But that's fine. I'll ask around and scrounge some branches off anyone who has some. I'm going to use the chipper now to chip down that asparagus. See how well the asparagus chips down, and I'll show you what the basket is like when I'm done. Here's the job it made on the asparagus. So that's really good, and I did put some tayberry canes through as well to see whether they chopped up the tayberry canes, and it did. So I'm now going to go and cut down the tayberry canes from this year and leave the ones that will grow for next year. A couple more jobs I want to get done is to sort out this area here, which is looking a bit of a mess. I need to take the cage frame down and remove the leaves off the sprouts and tidy up the purple sprout and broccoli and check if there's any more caterpillars lurking anywhere. I also need to remove these sprout plants here. They've definitely gone over. My neighbours have given me some of their offcuts of pruned shrubs, so I can chip them up and put them on the paths. But sadly, in other news, I think my bed here has got a leak. The water meter is under there, which is quite full of water, and my husband has dug a little trench here to try and get the water out, and as you can see, that is coming out at quite the run, and it hasn't rained for a couple of days. You see it's all coming out here now, but I think we've got a leak in our water pipe, and I also think I need to remove this rhubarb from here, which is really sad because it's doing really well, but basically I need to uncover where the water meter is. I just forgot it was there when I planted, when I asked for the bed to be put on top of here. So I think we're going to put in sleepers along here and leave that side of the bed as it is, and this side of the bed will go back to being gravel with the water meter easy to get to, and I will probably move the rhubarb into the back garden where I've just tidied up the tayberry bushes. I'm obviously not going to be doing that today. I just thought I'd show you the leek that is here now, because well, there's always something that goes wrong, isn't there? And that is what is going wrong at the moment. If I don't move that rhubarb, if we get a frost, it's just going to freeze the roots, and then the rhubarb's going to die. So I might as well move it anyway. And I expect when I put the gravel there, I mean, this will be a job that will be done over the winter. I'm not doing it straight away. But obviously we need to get the leek sorted straight away. I'll probably put some pots there ultimately, won't I? Yeah. Right, back to those jobs. Well, that's this patch cleaned up anyway. There are some nice looking sprouts in there actually. It looks much better for me taking the leaves off, and I can just go and harvest them now as and when I need them. They're much easier to access now I've taken those leaves off. Right, on to the next bit. This seating area is the next bit I want to clean up because, well, no one wants to sit there at the moment because it looks awful. So I'd better get on with that. Well, that's another area tidied up. Woohoo! My next job is going to be to put in some garlic. So here's my safe seed from last year. I've got 6 pots here of spent compost. So I'm going to empty out about 1/3 of a pot, put bone meal into the compost that remains in this pot. Also put bone meal in the compost that I'll have mixed out, and then add about 6 or 7 cloves in here, and then put the compost back on top, and hopefully we should get some extra garlic come the spring. And when it's about March time, I will top dress this with some fish blood and bone then, so hopefully we'll get some extra garlic and it'll grow well. And finally, my last job for today is to harvest the last of the butternut squash that's around the place and put them in the greenhouse with my other squashes. Before we go on to the harvest for this week, I've taken out quite a few leeks because they're just not looking very good. I had to take off quite a lot of the peelings to get this good looking flesh, as it were, so we won't have leeks for very much longer. The squash is one that I grew and harvested earlier. The carrots I've just dug up, and this is 1 carrot. Look at that shape, 1 carrot. I get a lot of carrot off there because I can cook with that quite easily. Some potatoes that I unearthed last week, 2 celeriac, they'll be nice, and some Swiss chard for greens. Oh, and there's one little egg. Our chickens have really gone off the lay at the moment. They haven't been laying very much for the last sort of 6 weeks really. But anyway, that is this week's harvest. Happy with that. Well, that's it from me for today. Thank you for watching, and I'm really pleased with all the jobs I've got done. The garden looks much better now I've had a good old clean and tidy of things. So I'll just have to continue tidying up and actually throwing things away that I don't need. So I'll get on with doing that, and hopefully I'll catch you on the next one. All I can say about the work today is lovely job, and take care everybody.